The Israelis, the Zionist Occupation Force, the ZOF, not IDF, they went in and they arrested the leader of the BDS movement in Palestine, general coordinator rather. So look at this. So Israeli occupation forces arrest BDS coordinator Mahmoud Nawaja during night raid. Let me show you the video. It's shocking. It really is, man. Look at this. God, that is harrowing. That is scary. I mean, that is really scary. Look at that, man. 20 of them taking one guy and blindfolded in the middle of the night. I mean, this is a horror movie, man. This is insane. So at around 3:30 a.m., tens of Israeli occupation soldiers, accompanied by at least one dog, stormed the home of Mahmoud Nawaja, the general coordinator of the Palestinian Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions National Committee, near Ramallah, handcuffing, blindfolding, and taking him away from his wife and 3 young children. So Mahmoud, who is 34 years old, he's born in South Hebron and holds a master's degree in international relations. And so BDS, they issued an official statement about this as well. I'll read that to you in a second, but I just want to make something clear, man. Do you see how seriously they take this threat? Dude, this guy literally is running a peaceful protest. It is by definition peaceful and unarmed. And nonetheless, they come to his house with 20 soldiers, not even just police, soldiers. They send the army. Could you imagine the army coming to your house? Now, the fucking army, man, with machine guns, not police, the army. I want that to sink in your head. The fucking army, the Marines coming into your house. 20 of them, 20 fucking Marines. Could you imagine that? And they arrest you for protesting. I mean, if that don't scare the shit out of you, I don't know what does. And if that doesn't make you angry, I don't know what does. Do you see how Palestinians are oppressed? They are legally, under the UN Charter, under the Geneva Convention, allowed to resist occupation, military occupation, using any means necessary. But if you take up arms, you're a terrorist, right? And you open your mouth, you criticize, oh, you're anti-Semitic. And if you try to do peaceful protest, they're going to come and arrest you with the army and take you away and blindfolded at 3 a.m. And they call themselves the only democracy in the Middle East. How is that a democracy if you can't even protest? never mind the genocide and the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians and the fact that it's an ethno state. So by definition, it's not a democracy. What is this? Is that not absolutely harrowing? This site? Look at that. I mean, this is some stuff that you would see like in a movie from World War II. You know, like Gestapo coming in the middle of the night and taking somebody away. Never heard of, right? Isn't this what they always tell you like happens in communist countries? Oh, the Stasi, the secret police, they're going to come and take you in the middle of the night. Oh, turns out this is Israel. Ah. And who's subsidizing this? The United States? Ah. Oh, that sounds very, very different from what you've been telling us. Oh, turns out you're the fascists, huh? Turns out you don't have democracy in the Zionist occupation, do you? Oh, if you open your mouth, they're going to send the army to get you. Wow. Under the United Nations International Convention on the Suppression and Punishment of the Crime of Apartheid, the, quote, persecution of organizations and persons by depriving them of fundamental rights and freedoms because they oppose apartheid is one of the inhumane acts committed to maintaining an apartheid system. So, listen, man, after South Africa, this stuff was very clear. I mean, if it wasn't already clear under international law, under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that you can't do this to people. You cannot oppress them. But it was made explicitly clear that under apartheid, Silencing people who protest apartheid contributes to apartheid. You are committing a gross violation of human rights and helping to maintain the system and uphold this oppression. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to silence him, man. This guy, no one knows where he is. No one knows where he's being held. He's not been charged with anything. It's just persecution. This is by definition persecution. Okay? That's what it is. So BDS put out a statement, okay? And just like I said, he's currently held in Israel's Jalami High Security Interrogation Center, and he's denied access to lawyers. And not sure what he's been charged with exactly, right? No one knows. Nonetheless, I would read to you what you can do. So they've offered 4 steps here. This is from the official BDS movement website, right? So they're saying there's 4 things you could do right now to help. So number 1 is write to your government's foreign office / foreign ministry and ask them to urgently take all actions at their disposal to ensure that he's immediately released, that Israel release Mahmoud Nawaja, and publicly condemn Israel for its arrest. Now, look, man, you already know if you live in a Western country, good luck getting them to do that, because they're not gonna dare to criticize the Zionist occupation. We already know they're too scared. But nonetheless, this is what they're saying. I'm reading it to you. So that's step 1. Step 2: mobilize support from human rights organizations, political parties, members of parliament, trade unions, church, feminist, anti-racist, and LGBTQAI plus groups, and ask them to help you put pressure on your government. Number 3, raise awareness on social media. Use the hashtags Free Mahmoud. That's the one that I was using. And there's also Libertad para Mahmoud. Okay. And number 4, they ask you to strengthen your BDS campaigns and your planned actions countering Israel's annexation plan. So, I just want to highlight one thing, man. I just think this shows you how serious they take this stuff. And, if you go and watch The Lobby, for example, which is this documentary made by Al Jazeera, you know also from what you see in that documentary that they take this very seriously. I mean, they're dedicating lots of time and resources and personnel to combating anyone who's pro-BDS, right? Yeah. I mean, not only does that show that it's effective, but it also shows you that they know they're wrong. I mean, if you can't even get away with peacefully protesting, what does that say about your oppressors? What does that say about them trying to silence you? What does that say, man? This whole claim of, we're the only democracy in the Middle East is a farce. What a joke. What a joke. What an absolute joke. And this is absolutely harrowing. I'm really, when I saw that video, I was like, man, this is some, you can't make this up, man. If you told people that this happened and there wasn't any video, they wouldn't believe you, right? They won't even believe you. Yeah, no, there it is. This is real. This is real. Indefensible, inexcusable. So you're not going to hear anyone talking about this in mainstream media. And very, very curiously enough, I tried looking up on Jerusalem Post and I tried looking up on Haaretz, and there's not a mention of Mahmoud Nawaja, not a mention of his arrest. Isn't that weird? I thought this is the only democracy in the Middle East, man. I thought you have free press and journalism there, man. What's going on? Why aren't you talking about this? You should be the first ones concerned. It's happening in your fucking country, your state, right? Man, get out of here, yo. Oh, what a farce. I can't believe this, man. This is really awful. It's really awful. And not to mention you have the pandemic now, and he's not just being denied a lawyer, which is a common occurrence if you're a Palestinian prisoner, one of the 4,700 in their jails. But on top of it, like we said, you have the pandemic, so his health is particularly being put at risk, more so by being confined and taken into custody. This is really indefensible, man. It just proves to you that he's doing something right. It just proves to you, man. They don't send the army 20 soldiers to take an unarmed person out of his home at 3 a.m. for no reason. So you let people know about this. You let them know, man. You gotta make this headlines. You can't just be silent about this. I'm serious. I know they get away with everything. I know they have immunity and impunity, but nonetheless, man, if this guy's literally in jail. He's literally in custody. If I don't open my mouth and you don't open your mouth, who's gonna do it, man? You think anyone's gonna listen to Palestinians? They're already being ignored and sidelined and persecuted and their land stolen from them and denied statehood and their rights. So we got to do this for them. Do you feel me? And this is particularly egregious because they've been trying to attack the BDS movement worldwide, not just in there. This is like a worldwide movement coordinated on their part to discredit and delegitimize the BDS movement as a hate movement, when it's completely the opposite. It's trying to fight hate. It's trying to fight an apartheid ethno-state. And so they're trying to delegitimize this worldwide, never mind just in occupied Palestine. Do you understand why it's important? Other governments act at the behest of the Zionist occupation to discredit and delegitimize BDS. So we got to do our part, man. There you go.